Hi, as we come to the end of the year 2022, a lot of things um, are still very fresh in our minds. And one of those things is just a recap of how has the year 2022 been for me. And therefore, even as we come to the end of this season of the year 2022, it's important that we take stock and ask ourselves, what lessons have I been, am I taking out of the year 2022? I like to think about it in this way, that really every time we say we have come to the end of an year and into the beginning of a new year, it is simply a beginning and the end of a season. So we've come to the end of the season that was 2022. The big question that we then have to ask ourselves is, what has the year 2022 been for me? What impact has it brought? What lessons have I drawn? What am I taking out of the year 2022 so that I go into 2023 with a clean slate, asking myself, what then am I doing into 2023, and what significance difference am I actually going to get out of the year 2023? So as we come to the end of the year, I have some 4 or 5 pointers that I would want you to think about very seriously and just question, what are the lessons and what are you drawing out of the year 2022 that then form the basis of you being able to do exploits, do excellence into the year 2023? The first question that I want you to have at the back of your mind and ask yourself is this: have you grown spiritually? It is important that we align ourselves, we align our relationship with our Maker. It is important that at the end of it all, we ask ourselves, how has my relationship with God been? Because that is the foundation of any other relationship that you will ever have. We say you cannot love unless you are in a good relationship with the one who gives love. So therefore ask yourself, what's your relationship with your God today? How has 2022 been for you spiritually? Have you grown? Have you impacted? Have you fed your spiritual man? Have you been at that place where you can feel within you that you have actually grown spiritually? So that becomes very important, because that becomes the foundation of how then your 2023 is going to begin. If you have a good relationship with your God, you actually then are starting from a place where you already are very sure that the foundation of your building is set. Remember, any building is only as strong as its foundation. So the question that I want to ask you this afternoon is that, is your foundation right? Is your foundation well prepared? Is your foundation stable to hold on then those relationships that will actually be coming into your life into the year 2023? So if you have not worked on that aspect of your life in the year 2022, then it is important that before we even jump into the new year of 2023, that then you make good that relationship with your God. Your spiritual aspect, I like to believe that it is the foundation of anything else that we actually are working and building on. The second aspect is of the questions that we need to ask ourselves in the year, from the year 2022, is, have you grown in your relationships? Relationships are the foundations upon which we thrive. Relationships are the foundation of our career. They are the foundation of our businesses. They are the foundations of our families. How have you grown your relationships this year? What kind of relationships have you built? What kind of networks have you interacted with? What kind of value-based relationships have you worked on? Have you worked on your relationships, building them from the basis of which is the most important relationship of your life? One, we always say that as after the relationship with your God is a relationship with your family. How good is that relationship? Do you have a good relationship with your family, with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with your siblings, with the people around you where you are? Becomes important because that forms the foundation of your next year. That forms the environment that you spend a lot of your time in. And remember, you can only be as productive as it is enabled by the environment that you are actually going to work into the year 2023. The third thing that you have to ask yourself this at this time before we get into the new year is, what kind of networks have I built? What kind of networks have I put in place that inform the kind of space that I'm operating in, be it at the corporate level mainly, be it in my career? Have you formed networks around people that are of significance to your career? Are you forming a foundation around people that will challenge you? Do you have a network of people that are contributing positively to your business? Unfortunately, very many of us are in relationships that we are that actually form part of your cheering squad. If you have those relationships coming out of 2022 into the year 2023, then what you're going to have is that you're going to have the same level of results that you have experienced in the year 2022. You have to be deliberate about creating networks, about creating relationships with people, networks that challenge you, networks that move you to the next level, networks that will challenge the mediocrity that you operate in, networks that will tell you to think over and above the normal, think beyond what you have achieved. If you bought a car this year, you must be in a network of people that are telling you a car is not enough, yet you have done well, but now you have to move into the next level of moving, or actually probably getting a property, getting a certain kind of an investment, because that is what will move you to the next level. So ask yourself, what kind of a network have you built around you? Remember, if you're operating in the wrong network, then there will really be no recipients. Remember, any mobile phone that has no network capacity in the area in which it is operating becomes a useless facility. So the question is for you today, and for myself today, what kind of networks have I built around myself? Is it a network that can grow me? Is it a network that can enable my communication? Is it a network that can move me to the next space? As it is a network that is actually going to challenge me and to steer me towards a certain level of achievement? The fourth aspect that we need to ask ourselves today, as we look into the things that we have done in the year 2022 to 2023, is, what have you done about your personal development? What have you done? Have you invested in yourself? I like to believe that the number one investment that you need to work on is you. There can never be an investment that is going to pay you better than an investment in yourself. So the question this period and this time of the year, just before we close 2022, is, what kind of personal development have you done? Have you grown yourself? Have you enriched yourself? Besides enriching your bank, have you enriched the person of you? Have you enriched yourself as an individual? What courses have you taken? What alignment have you taken in terms of your career? What kind of material have you interacted with this year that have interrupted or disrupted the way you think? They say today each and every industry will be fully transformed in terms of information in 2 years, and a complete overhaul will happen each and every 10 to 20 years. So ask yourself today, have you grown yourself to a level where you will actually move to the next phase of life? Ask yourself that today, are you ready for that kind of an opportunity that can come, that will force you to actually be that person that you need to be? But simply because you did not work on yourself in the year 2022, that means in 2023, so you will actually not still be ready to tap into those opportunities. Important question to ask. Have you been able to learn about money better? Or are you still going to mismanage the money that you earn next year, just the way you mismanaged the money that you made in 2022? Have you bettered yourself around your health? Have you taken keen time to look at what you are eating? Have you taken keen time to observe what is happening around you and actually and actually ask yourself that as an individual, am I a worthwhile investment? Because remember, people are willing to put in premium to deal with somebody who is well invested in knowledge, in expertise, in know-how, in expression, and in ability to deal. So ask yourself, have you grown personally in the year 2022? And finally is to ask yourself, what kind of strategies have you laid for the year 2023? It is going to be the same thing if then you have not sat down and strategized and said, what are the key things for me in the year 2023? What are the key things that I need to focus on? Where do I need to change? What do I need to adjust? Is it around my finances? Is it around my work? Is it around probably owning a property? Is it around my investment? What area must you start working on so that it gives you the kind of results that you are expecting to get in 2023? There has to be a strategy. You have to ask yourself, am I planning on going back to school? Am I planning on getting a professional paper? What am I planning on getting that moves me to the next level? So for me, and from the entire team at Excellence Molders International, is just to give you a flashback and to ask, are you ready for the year 2023? Are you ready for the new season? Remember, a new season that finds land not prepared, a new season that finds you with ready seed, but you have not prepared your land, is as better as if it had not come. Why? Because then the place that the seed is to be planted is not ready to manifest the fruits that it should bring forth. So you have a seed today, but ask yourself, is your land well prepared? And the most important land for you to prepare in this time and season is actually you as an individual. So mine and the entire team at Excellence Molders is to wish you a happy and blessed festive season and an excellent, exciting, fulfilling, and great year 2023. God bless.